Welcome back to 2023-2020 third revision. Today on the channel, something that's nice to have, but questionable. Just like me. We're looking at the Garmin Zumo XT, just in case you clicked on this video and expected something else. I'm sorry, YouTube does not have porn, no matter how much your friends tell you about it. That's the wrong one. It's a motorcycle GPS, fully waterproof, easy mount on the handlebar, and if you want to use it in your car, you also get the appropriate adapters, power supply, and to keep your sanity in check while you sit in traffic. But hold on, why a GPS? Well, I had a TomTom 400 rider, which is then upgraded to 450, 550. I never upgraded. It's not available in South Africa, and well, this Garmin was at a drastically reduced price. So, might as well, right? But hold on. Why do we need a GPS on the motorcycle? Isn't it the point that you're supposed to get lost and have some fun? Okay, to a point. The price of this one, you could have gone and bought a Xiaomi phone for $100, 6.5 inches diameter. It's kind of big for a Chinese. With all the crap included, right? Problem though, smartphones, sure, they're waterproof. Well, the Xiaomi don't have IP ratings, so bear with me. Point is, then you gotta hook it up, constantly charge it. If you go into a rainstorm, chances are water will ingress into the electronics. Okay, and there are various apps which you can load on your smartphone, offline maps, etc. that will do a brilliant job. But your phone is not designed for it, okay? Intense vibration, it'll fail afterwards. The Samsung that I had, Sunrise Scramble. Temperature was in the negatives. The phone refuses to charge at that to save the battery. If it's too hot, the phone won't charge. So it's all these elemental things that will give you a problem. Also, a GPS like this is harder for cousin Sibusiso to rip from your motorcycle than, let's say, your phone, which is only caught up in an X-clamp. Yeah, theft is still a problem, I know. So that's why I said let's do this. Oh, and of course, Garmin, in comparison with TomTom, GPX files. You know those files people create and you follow and you don't follow the GPS? Fantastic. Garmin will basically pioneer that shit. TomTom, the amount of times a straight line turned into a U-turn, less said the better. But also, GPX are things that you use to get out of the city, to go on dirt, to go for sweeping rides from the locals who said, hey, don't travel on the highway, try these routes, okay? And why do you want to get out of the city? Well, not that I'm, pessimistic or, bored of the city. Cities where you can get fun things like free pedestrian hugs. Affirmative shopping, or people who will test your side windows for you. And general mental hilarity.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh.
Do you understand why it's better to get out of the cities? Especially for a motorcyclist. And don't forget, once a year or every 6 months, do a motorcycle refresher course. If you're not doing at least 1,000 miles or 8,000 kilometers a year, you need a refresher course. Right, so we are going to install this thing in a Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro, but I will not be using the RAM mounts, which are nice and good, But I have noticed that ram mounts, you really have to squeeze the nuts really tight to prevent the corrugation from loosening them again. So I'm going back to my old firm favorite. This is from SW Motec. A clamp on your handlebar with vibration dampeners, and basically fits a lot of things in general. And I use Nylox just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. He said and hope. For your motorcycle, you may have to take the fairings off. Worst case scenario, you may have to take the tank off. But if you're watching this video, then you already know this is going to be the laziest way possible. So we're going to fiddle. Actually, this will fiddle there. And we're going to go through, bearing in mind that we want to stay closest to the frame because there's a point of attachment. Yeah, you're married to it. Okay. Luckily, the Tiger, and the only time my long fingers are actually worth for something, you can push it through here, look through here. There's a hole where you can guide it, or even look underneath. And once you've done that, route it through. And my advice is to follow existing cable ways. For example, this is the USB port. And we're going to route it through here. Handlebar. The device is going to sit here. Don't worry about too much cable slack at the moment. Just get it through underneath the tank into this position, and then we do with the cleanup. And if at any point you're having trouble pulling the cable through, just make yourself an attachment like this out of wire, or just ask the guy who's currently breaking into your car if you can borrow his. Some assembly required. Okay, seeing we're doing this the lazy version, what's the easiest end to route underneath the tank? I'm guessing this way. Okay, at first let's fasten these bastards. Your battery on this particular motorcycle is, you get rid of the seat and then loosen this nut. Be careful, don't lose this one. By the way, you can also inspect your toolkit, which hopefully is still there. Otherwise, the guy at the dealership may have stolen it for his nefarious purposes. There we go. And upsy daisy, there's your battery. Once you have your battery in place, if you're lucky and you've got a motobat, you can just connect the extra cables of the accessories here. Alternatively, if you still have an OEM, remember that your bike needs to be the first cable touching the battery terminals. Thereafter, you can put your accessories. Your heated grips, your heated underwear comes secondary to actually getting you out of the frigate place you're there. When you do modify the battery, always disconnect the negative terminal first, just to prevent you frying the ECU and all the expensive stuff. While we're in here, use cable ties to make sure everything is secured and tied down. You don't want a cable rubbing itself raw and then creating a short. Just bear that in mind. Rubbing outside of the bedroom, closet, or work toilet is not ideal when it comes to cabling. And that's done. I used some double-sided tape just to attach that black control unit to one of the plastics and cable tied the rest. Bearing in mind, gentlemen, you see this flexible rubber thing? If you're installing this on a Tiger, that's your air intake, so please don't block anything in front of it. Now, we've cable tied everything up. We still have a lot of slack here. Make sure you do. And the easiest way, rotate from lock to lock. Make sure that thing doesn't stretch, that it's still got a bit of looseness. Once you've got that, then you can cable tie it. Okay, coming to the installation, obviously this is the SW Motec. Doesn't come with your kit. This is the adapter. Now, these low clips hook into your unit, so it has to be mounted like that. This thing, you got to push sideways through, and then we're going to have to one-handed. Yeah, we have to do this one-handed, I know. Like so. And you'll see on the back side, screw hole. And in your packet, you will find these things. I don't even know what this is. What is this, an M1? type screw. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on there. Actually, not Loctite, a bit of glue. Just to make sure, because if this thing falls out, okay, you've got a spare, but that's a pain in the arse. So let's do that and mount this. And screws, they're supposed to go like this. Screw, washer, metal. The metal piece has to face up here, and then this one to the back. But I think there's a washer missing for the back here. So you need to add a little bit of your own tooling here. Actually, come to think of it, I still had these from AliExpress, or what was it, wish.com. I bought one of those 200 kit stainless steel screws. Works as well, and it's easier than Phillips screws. And that's what it should look like. Don't throw away this cap, because if you're not using the unit, you have to protect it from moisture ingress. So add a bit of red rubber grease as well. Okay, so that's that. What do we have to do? Oh yeah, power on the bike, and let's see what happens when you disconnect the battery for an extended period. Don't worry. Usually all it will do, the ECU will give you a temper tantrum because it doesn't know what time of day it is. If you really want to scare it, make sure you put it as the 31st December 1999. Roughly about 2 minutes to midnight, and let's see what it does. Okay, moment of truth. Either this thing blows up, or I'm encouraged to make more of these shitty videos. Yeah, I'm definitely encouraged there. You have to make sure that it's... Yes, we are in South Africa. Thank you, not Sri Lanka. Afrikaans. And there's only like 6 people who can speak that language anyway, according to Charlize Theron. British English will suffice. Well, I guess we have to accept all. Do not adjust while driving. Oh, God. Shit. Obviously, it'll take attention away from me writing my WhatsApp message. Anyway, so then stand up on the pegs. That's not bad. May need a bit of an adjustment upwards, but yeah, should be able to view that quite easily. The only what I miss from the TomTom, you could rotate this on the fly. This one, unfortunately, not so. But it is a big screen and it should be quite visible in daylight. So, that's that. Notice the bike is off and this thing's drawing power. There's no relay here, gentlemen, so always remember to disconnect it, else it'll eat your battery alive. That's a drawback. Something that a lot of GPS manufacturers, TomTom and Garmin and the rest, they never have a relay or anything to be intelligent like this. But maybe, who knows, with a firmware update, maybe if the Bluetooth from the bike is connected with, and don't get me started, gentlemen, this thing has Bluetooth. It can communicate with the bike, with your cell phone, and your headset. Plus, it's got an SD card. It's an MP3 player as well. So if you got 128 gigs of music, you can plug it in the back, and there you go. And the best thing is, updates itself via your phone, so traffic on the fly. So in essence, Google. Okay. Is this thing worthwhile? Look, compared to a phone, this thing is going to be, let's put it this way, backup unit for tracks, for better visibility, because your phone is here, it'll shake to shit. This thing has got, it's sturdy, it's got anti-vibration mountings. I'd say a very valuable investment. So please, if you are doing a tour, convince your friends to buy one. Just follow them. Anyway, that was the shortest and crappiest install video I could make. I hope you didn't enjoy it, and I hope you will give me a tongue lashing. Or whatever. Happy New Year.